Risk number 3 is the Donroe Doctrine.
Goes back to the days of the Monroe Doctrine, when President Monroe was saying, hey, all of you colonial powers from Europe, you've got to stay out of America's backyard, and the US will enforce that. The Donroe Doctrine goes a little farther. It's that the United States gets to determine what the outcomes are on the ground in the Western Hemisphere. It's America's backyard first, not just America first. Of course, we're talking about Venezuela and Nicolas Maduro, where the Americans have been escalating, and intend for him to be out of power. And indeed, it's more likely than not by 2026, the end of the year, you will see the end of Maduro. Either directly taken out, maybe even by an American SEAL team, or removed by the Venezuelan military, deciding that they're not prepared to continue to take all the military hits and the economic hits from the United States.
So that was what we recorded on Friday. Within hours of that taping, the United States went in and captured Nicolas Maduro and his wife and brought them back to the United States. That doesn't, of course, in any way change the risk. It confirms it. The Donroe Doctrine is not theoretical. Washington is now willing to determine outcomes in its own hemisphere directly. And the harder question for 2026 is what comes next, and the implications for not just Venezuela, but also for other countries in the region, where the United States has already said that they are unhappy with either the governments or the way that narco cartels operate inside their territory. And now, back to the rest of the risk.
Will the U.S. also undermine the sovereignty of other countries the way they are with Venezuela? Might they take direct action against narco cartels in Mexico? There's also the question of how effective the U.S. can be in the Donroe Doctrine when the Chinese are the dominant economy trading with most of these countries. And for many of those countries, they are unprepared, they are unwilling to accept a dominant U.S. voice over their political decision-making. They want to do more business, more trade with China. And is this more of an opportunity for Beijing with some of these countries over the course of the year? The answer to that is almost certainly yes. Long-term, that causes more conflict between the U.S. and China. This year, it does not. But this year does show the Donroe Doctrine is going to drive a lot of uncertainty in the Western Hemisphere.